Welcome back. Welcome back. I am Amara Negra, and you're listening to Exactly Amara, a production of iHeart. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And don't forget to give us, mi amor, ya tu sabe, our 5 stars. Subscribe to the podcast and our YouTube channel. All you have to do is go to the search bar and write Exactly Amara. Or if you want to know more about my life, claro está, mi amor, just go to Amara La Negra. And also, obviously, on all our social media platforms, Exactly Amara. As usual, I love to have my producer, my friend, mi pana, mi amigo, mi compadre, mi everything. Alex is with me in the house today. Gang, gang, gang. What up, Alex?
We got a big show today. Big show. It's very important.
We do have a big show today. And you know what? I love that on Exactly Amara, we talk about everything. We talk from labor, having babies, to sex, to religion, to politics, to, daddy issues, to everything you can think about, because these are the things that really go in my mind. And I'm a very curious person. I really want to know what's going on. And something that really touched home for me is I've always had issues with my body. And I'm going to tell you why. At one point in life, when I was young, growing up, I was, naturally Wakanda forever. I am Black, proudly Negra, very proud of that. And naturally, my body, is curvy. I remember being really young and having thick thighs and a big booty and all that stuff. I remember being obese at one point. I used to weigh 230 pounds. I remember being suffering from bulimia, which we've already spoken about it on the show. I felt so self-conscious about my body. I used to binge eat and throw up. I ended up being hospitalized in 2 occasions because of that. I feel that society puts so much pressure on women specifically, because I don't feel that men have the same pressure to look fine in a certain type of way, but to have flawless skin, no stretch marks, no pimples, no this, hair's perfect, It's so much damn work. We even our natural beauty, we cover it up with all this damn makeup, and then makeup and beauty is one of the biggest financial industry when it comes to women. It's like there's so much work being done to brainwash us about the way that we are naturally built, that they monetize off these things. And there's just so much happening that's why today I wanted to talk about body positivity. I wanted to talk about something that I really feel that hits home, and not just for women, also for children, also for little ones, also for the young ones, even getting bullied at school because of the way that you naturally look. And that's why, Alex, I want you to present who today's guest is.
Yeah, I'm super excited. This wonderful guest that will be joining us today and talking about this noteworthy topic like you just mentioned. She has graced the cover of Self magazine. Her Cosmo UK cover stirred Piers Morgan to body shame her in the fitness space for her looks on national television. She is known for her refreshing takes on social and cultural issues in the health industry and more. She is Jessamyn Stanley. How are you? Welcome to the show.
Oh my gosh, y'all's energy is just a godsend. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you for this blessing, truly. I'm honored to be here with you.
Thank you for being so open, so transparent, so exactly you. Because we really need more of that energy. We really, and I love to empower other women on my show. I love for other women to inspire other women, because not for nothing, I've had shows where I've spoken to women that really inspired me. Damn, I hadn't even thought about that. You really make me feel like I need to get, my shit together. I need to be more vocal. I need to do this. And that's why we need more women like you who are open and honest and transparent about their bodies. Now tell me, how did this journey in wellness really started for you?
It really came from depression. I think that a lot of people feel like, if you're in a bad place in your life, this is the lowest part, this is the worst part. And I'm like, that is the space of your growth. That's the font of wisdom. Because when I was in graduate school, I was really struggling with depression. I felt bad about my body for sure, but life was happening. And I went to a yoga class, and a friend of mine was like, oh my God, come to yoga. And I was like, I think that is for thin white women. That has nothing to do with me. I'm not going. But when I did go, I was the only fat person, the only Black person. It was a very alienating experience for me. I couldn't do any of the postures. Everything felt impossible. But what it offered me was a space to really be very gentle and compassionate with myself. And that is not something that I had ever done. I'd always been really, really hard on myself, made lots of barriers. And I thought that I was only allowed to be one thing. And yoga offered me the idea that maybe I am more than what I've ever even considered. And I started sharing my yoga practice on social media because I wanted to connect with other yoga practitioners, but I didn't really get that many responses from other yoga people. I mostly got people being like, I didn't know fat people could do yoga. And I was like, why do you think fat people can't do yoga? Fat people do all kinds of stuff all the time. Obviously, we just have a visibility issue, and we need to show fat people just being healthy and living our lives and having fun. And so that's really where so much of sharing my yoga practice came from, was just wanting to be in community with other people who don't want to live within the confines of what society has written for us.
You know what? Not for nothing, but when you talk this way, it makes me think of something, right? With all due respect for all of our Caucasian listeners, why is it that when it comes to yoga and certain things, Pilates and things like this, we automatically assume that this is for the white people? Like,
it's because it's always rich white women who are doing it. And I mean, to be fair,
yes,
they do. I mean, I'm not, it's no shade. I enjoy Lululemon too. I'm not trying to, I like avocado toast, you know what I mean? But I'm like, it is not just for white people, and it's definitely not just for thin white women. And I think that, like, it's just really important to see more people doing it.
It's a stereotype
exactly
that
right.
needs to be. It's like, look, not for nothing. And this is this is society. Society does this brainwash thing. For example, when you think about tennis, when you think about, like you said, avocado toast, when you think about Pilates and yoga and whatever the case may be,
yes,
you know, you don't think about Black people. You don't think about Latinos. You don't think about minorities. This is like not what we do. Right.
But we are there, though. You think about the Williams sisters, they're there at tennis. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many vegans. Tabitha Brown is out here letting them know about veganism. Like,
we need to expose it. We need to make it more common. We need to make it more natural, more real, more show it in a positive light. And I love what you're doing. And I want to ask you this, too, because I personally have gone through it. But how do you feel about the body shaming that goes on social media? Because these days, I feel that people think that because they can talk all this shit behind this page, they can just OD, be disrespectful, and all types of stuff, to the point that I've heard of, obviously, I'm sure I'm not the only one, of people who have committed suicide because of body shaming and things like this on social media.
That's exactly right. But I mean, you really said the key. They say it behind the page. They don't come out and say it to your face. I always think, like, I wish somebody would say half the things that people say to me online in real life, but they never would. And I think that so much of what happens whenever people are body shaming is their own self-hatred coming out. So that anytime that I have somebody trolling me, I'm just like, damn, that person's really sad. You know what I mean? Like, their life is something's going on in their life where they're just looking for a way to feel happy. And they've decided that they could feel happy by trying to make me feel bad. And the thing that I can do is be compassionate toward that person. I know what that feeling is. I know what it is to feel bad about yourself. And I just don't have to be a part of that cycle. I can send them love and I can move on with my life. And it's something that, like, I think that tell me.
What?
Because this is the thing about it. First of all, can I tell you, when I first, because I thought I'd looked up your birthday before, because I love you. I think you are so important. And the work that you've done, just existing, has literally helped so many people with their bodies.
Amen.
For real.
Thank you so much.
But I thought I'd looked up your birthday before. I thought maybe you were a Sagittarius, but you're a Libra. And so I could definitely understand how, like, you'd be like, you know what, actually, some of y'all could catch hands. Like, you don't know me. You don't, like, this is not a day. But I am a Cancer, double Cancer. And I'm
Cancers.
very much like,
I'm
always in my feeling. That's exactly right. We do. Both leaders from different directions. But yes. I feel you, where it's like, you know what, actually, some people need to, they pop because they want to get popped back in the mouth, and you have to ultimately. Yeah.
I feel like we need to regulate this. We need to fix this a little bit, because sometimes we may laugh about it. You know, your family members may use it as a joke at some point. They'll even call you mi gordita, mi gordito, my fat this, my chunky that. And you don't know how that can be damaging to a certain extent, because it's not always used in a positive light. You know what I mean? And I also
It
feel that
absolutely is not. That is
if
true.
they're trying, for example, to lose weight, because it's happened to me at one point, I was extremely obese, and everybody kept telling me, "Oh, you just fine, you thick." No, tell me that you are overweight and you need to, start living a healthier lifestyle. Don't feed me all these things just to be like my mom. She'll get me super fat, eating all types of food, and then be like, "Mami, pero tú estás engordando. You're gaining weight. You're looking a little thick." Yeah, you're giving it to me. I also think that as a family, we need to do better, health rituals, right? Better routines, because it's not just about the way that you look, it's also about your health. Let's talk about that too,
there is a need for us I think we have to separate these conversations. So there's a conversation about health, and then there's a conversation about fat. Okay. And fat does not inherently mean that you're unhealthy. And I think that this is one of the things that the medical industrial complex has confused us about. But I do think that there is a really important conversation around health that does not happen in really any communities, because we're all so busy fat shaming each other. We can't have conversations about like what has led you to feel this way about your body, what has led you to eat the things that you eat, what has led you to feel like you can't go exercise. Like we can't even have those conversations because we're so busy being like, you're fat, you're ugly, you're stupid, or like you're thin, that's good. All of these things are just like, they're antithetical to us actually being collectively healthier, because you're right, your health is your wealth ultimately. Right. But what I found, and this is an interesting marker of body positivity, is that if you do love yourself, if you do accept yourself fully, then you want to take care of your body. You're like, yes, I'm going to go to the gym. Yes, I am going to pay attention to what I eat. But if you just feel bad about yourself all the time, that does not lead to you living healthier.
I mean, in my case, unless I have a new boo thing, because let me tell you something. Whenever I find a guy that I really like, girl, that'd be by the time when I've been trying to work out. Like, I want to be healthy. Let me have this vegan burger. Let me just take care of my body for my man. That's how I be feeling. Oh my God, am I the only one? Does anybody else go through it? I've been paying my gym membership for the past 3 years, and I don't remember the last time I went. They're just getting my money for free. But it makes me feel como que healthy to know that I have a gym membership.
Yeah, and I think that it's nice to just like, okay. I think that if you can say, I'm just going to go to the gym, it's not going to be a high pressure thing. I'm just going to go because it makes me feel good. That is life-changing. And I do think that if you have the motivation of like, I'm single, I'm putting myself out there, and it's not even about like a specific person. It's just like, who do I want to be? How do I want to show up? And it's not about like, I got to reach this certain size or I got to look this certain way. It's just like, I want to feel good. I want to feel confident, because you see people who look hot. It does not matter what size you are. If you're hot, you're hot. And like, it comes from knowing it inside.
But wait a moment, mommy. What makes you exactly be like you're hot? Who put the level of the hotness? Because let me tell you something. I've seen and I've known a lot of girls that are thick and they're bodied and they have such great personality and they have their confidence is so freaking high. Okay, no matter what, I'm like, damn, you're fine. And it's not even exactly about the way that your body is shaped. It's just your aura, your, you know what I'm saying? It's just who you are. Recently, right? I don't know if you guys heard, but Kanye blasted Lizzo on the news media channel. And I know that you have gone through your own problems in the media. What was that about? How did that occur? Because a lot of us may not know. What happened?
Totally. I was on the cover of Cosmopolitan UK and Piers Morgan, thank you. Piers Morgan decided that the way that my body looks on the cover was not healthy. And so he decided to talk about that on his show. And frankly, I just felt like he needed to take a look in the mirror. I just didn't really understand why he felt like he needed to say anything about me and my happiness. And you were talking about that Kanye Lizzo situation. And I thought her response to that was impeccable. She was like, why? I'm minding my business. I don't know why you're over here. And ultimately, I think that there is so much self-hatred. I think that Piers Morgan was experiencing his own self-hatred and that he was looking for an easy target. And from my perspective, I was like, please tell everybody about my Cosmopolitan cover. I really don't have an issue with that. And I think that if he or anyone feels compelled to bully another person, that is something to reflect on within yourself. It doesn't really have anything to do with the person that you're bullying. It has to do with who you are and what you're lacking and the sadness that you feel in your day-to-day life. But for anybody else who's just like living their life and feeling free, and if you enjoy putting yourself out there, if people are like, let haters gonna hate, people gonna talk, and that's really ultimately the point. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, and yeah, for sure.
Alex, have you ever gone through any body shaming on social media in real life, your family as a Latino, fellow Latino? Have you ever gone through anything like this?
Listen, I was a fat boy growing up, okay? I ate a lot of arroz con habichuela, chuleta frita. I mean, whatever you threw at me, I was eating. I didn't care, right? Because I'm a kid, I'm eating. But yeah, I mean, growing up, I wasn't a fit person. I was big. I'm 6'5", so I can put on some weight if I needed to, you know what I'm saying, without a problem. When I joined the Marine Corps, I got into super physical shape, but that still triggers me till today, where I think about when I look at myself in the mirror, because I'm watching people on social media with these super fit bodies all the time, these quote unquote influencers. You see people body shaming each other all the time. Like if someone were to post something like Lizzo did, or like Jessamyn did, where she's doing something positive for everyone out there, you immediately get these people who attack you, man. And Amara, I know you've seen that happen. Even in your own page, I've seen people be extremely negative on everything when you're just trying to put a positive light out there for everyone to take in. Yeah. So yeah, I've definitely experienced that. And it sucks because I'm 40 years old, and even till this day, I look at myself in the mirror and I'm always like, okay, make sure my...
See, Bobby, but something else you didn't know. Baba, don't take it como que 100% personal. You know why? Because the men out here these days, like Drake, are out here getting the lipo, baby. They're getting the lipo and the six-pack stitched up.
Drake got lipo? Okay, I see everybody
Shout out to all the men out there that are cool with getting their lipo.
Yes.
Get them jelly rolls sucked out. Boom, boom, boom. Put them in your six-pack. I mean, in your pecs, in toda esa vaina. Go handle you. Do whatever makes you feel good about you. The same thing happens with the women. A lot of the times we feel a lot of pressure when we look at the girls on social media. Mommy, it's a lie. Yes. If you talk to a lot of surgeons, they'll be like, this girl's out here promoting her workout, but she just got her stomach lipoed out. She did this, she did that, she put in her, but she did all this extra stuff. Now she's just trying to maintain it with the workout. And that's just what it is. And it does put a lot of pressure on us. I can't wait, and I've said this so many times, I can't wait till cellulite and stretch mark is in style. When that shit starts to pop, I'm going to be, oh my God, I'm going to be so fine to the world. Like, I can't wait for that moment to come. Now, Jess.
But the thing is, you have to be that change. You got to be that change, and it's coming. Boy. Think about where we were 10 years ago to where we are now.
No, I can't do it by myself. It has to be a community of us that's willing to put all this mondongo out. We gotta put all this mondongo out, all this cellulite. Be like, look at this, Papi. Look at this jiggle. Look at that jiggle. Hold on to this. You know?
Yes.
But now I'll tell you this. As much as we're laughing about it, and we're taking this lightly, a little bit on a more serious topic. I know that there's a lot of. I want to talk about the younger version of you, the younger version of us, the even the one that it was, the young one that was chunky, and like them. I know a lot of parents. Let's talk about the parents. They have these kids that are maybe obese or a little bit chunky, and you may want to make jokes out of them. Or when you get upset, you may say mean things. Or, if your kid is being bullied at school because of the way that they look. Many things that I'm saying it because I went through it myself when I was overweight when I was younger. I decided to just eat. My mom was going through domestic abuse at home with my stepfather. And it just made me feel like I just wanted to eat, right? That's where I found my peace. And I just found my peace in food without realizing how much weight I had gained. And there were moments where my mom would be like, who's going to love you because you're so fat? You're never going to find a boyfriend because who wants a fat girlfriend? And it was her way of motivating me to lose weight without knowing that she was actually being damaging. If you had any words of encouragement, Alex, you were a chunky kid. What would you say to those parents out there that have kids that may be a little bit overweight or struggling through their weight?
Yeah, I would say that the change will begin with you. That kid is overweight. Yes. There's something going on there. Whether they're coping, something's happening in school, they're getting bullied elsewhere. Something is happening in their life. And Jessamyn, please jump in here because I'm sure you mentioned this in the top of the talks here. We talked about where it starts with at home with certain people. And I believe that if the parent is not taking care of themselves, they're going to have a hard time taking care of someone else.
That is exactly.
Am I right or wrong here?
No, my goodness, you are right on the money. The whole key always comes back to looking at yourself. I always think that when it comes to parenthood, how hard it must be to see your children be exactly like you in a way that you don't want to look at. You're having to look at the hardest parts of yourself outside of yourself. And you want to hold that being so close because you're like, I love you. I don't want for you to experience sadness. I have experienced so much sadness because of being fat, or I'm afraid of being fat, or whatever the thing is. And if you can, instead of pointing that at your child, if you can point that love and healing at yourself and say, how can I love myself more? That will allow you to even see your child as another human being, to respect them, to not body shame them, and to understand that the things that you're saying are hurtful. Like, say those things to yourself. Does it feel good to hear, like, no one's ever going to love you because you're fat? No, that does not feel good to hear. Like, receive it for yourself. Understand that you are tender, your child is tender, and that y'all both deserve love.
Really quickly, what happened with you and Donald Trump Jr.? What was that all about?
Yeah.
So similarly to Piers Morgan, when I was on the cover of Self, their Future of Fitness cover, Donald Trump Jr. took issue with that, umbrage with that. And he was, I don't even, to be honest, I don't even recall what he actually said, because all I could think was like, why are you giving me this free publicity and you think that you're
are
mad?
just the
you think
topic.
that I'm bad? I'm literally I just don't really, I'm not bothered by that, because I think that, well, first of all, white men love fat Black women, period, always. And so anytime that they're like talking about it, I'm just like, okay, I'll ask you who you're with at the end of the night, then let's talk about that. But ultimately with him, I'm just like, it is scary to see somebody be the opposite of what you've been told to be. And as a fat Black queer person who is unapologetic about their existence, I am the opposite of what Donald Trump Jr. has ever been told should exist. And so that's scary for him. And I think that when people are scared, they act scared, and that's what he does, and that's what people do. And I think that doesn't have to be my problem. And I think that it is hard to remember that. And I don't want to say it like, oh my God, forget him, I don't care. But it's like, the message of body acceptance is so powerful, and it inspires people, not just fat Black queer people. It inspires everybody to just be themselves. And that message to me is way more important than what any internet troll could ever say. So I'm just like, talk your talk, lift my status. I'm not pressed, and you be blessed, period.
Now, I'll ask you this. Now, be honest. Do you really feel that things will change? Do you really feel like we are moving towards the right direction when it comes to body positivity? Do you feel that, or what should change rather better? Because sometimes I feel like, things are changing. We have Lizzo, we have a lot of women that are confident with their bodies. They're embracing it, and that's helpful for all of us as a whole, right? But then I also feel like, but at the same time, I feel like these social media platforms and a lot of celebrities, even the celebrities today, I would love to see a rapper that's hot right now popping, have a whole bunch of thick girls, a whole bunch of, like you say, fat girls on the music. Why can't the main girl, one of these music videos, be voluptuous? I'm like, what other ways can we do to encourage?
If I'm being really honest with you, I do think that change is slow, and I think that we have not done enough. I don't think that enough has happened. But if I think about where we were in 2012 versus where we are in 2022, a profound shift has occurred. And so I think that it is these little steps. I do think it is Lizzo. It's seeing, watch out for the big girls, having more people watch that show. I think that all of the things that happen incrementally will eventually mean that there will be music videos with it's a whole chorus of fat Black people. It's just gonna, I think that over time it will change. I think patience is the key. I think that it is so crucial that every single person look at themselves really honestly. And this is the hardest part, I think. I think we always want to look for like that one magic step that's going to fix everything permanently, and that it's not going to have to be each of us on an individual level, recognizing that we're fat phobic. You know what I mean? Like that we're fat phobic, that we're racist. And like that, I think that even when you look at corporations who want to show, they want to be a part of the change, it doesn't start with the message that you're telling other people. It starts with the work that's happening individually with each person, and then bringing that together, healing together, and then sharing that message. So there's a lot of work that still needs to be done.
I hear you and I feel you and I agree 100%. But when you hear this, tell me what you think, okay? Ready, set, go. Everybody yoga, what?
What I hear is that everybody can do yoga. Anybody can do yoga. Yoga is for everybody. That's the thing about it. Yoga has nothing to do with what you look like.
You wrote an amazing book, and I want you to talk about it for those that, didn't know.
Yes. Everybody Yoga is my book that will bring you from sitting on the couch to practicing downward facing dog. It literally answers all your questions about how to start a yoga practice. And ultimately, it shows that if you can breathe, you can live this practice. You can get Everybody Yoga literally anywhere the books are sold. You can get it on my website, JessamynStanley.com. And it is something that I think if you offer it to anybody who's in need, they will find healing through it.
I love it. And honestly, I would love to yoga with you. Oh my God, wouldn't that be sickening? We should yoga together one day just to see, because I feel like I can turn myself into a pretzel. Yes. And that's what I really thought that yoga's about. Como que stretching out real good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I get that body nice and stretched out. But the truth is that
Jessamyn, you opened up another part of Amara there with your book.
Good. That's what I'm saying. Yes.
At the end of the show, I always like to, do a takeaway. And if you guys can take home anything from today's conversation is love your body, embrace your body. This is the only body that you have, the body that will be with you for the rest of your life. Love it, take care of it. Don't let anybody make you feel as if your body is not good enough. Don't feel ashamed of the body that God blessed you with. And no matter how you feel, remember that there's always somebody else that wish that they had your body and they don't. Whether it is that you are blessed to have 2 hands, 2 feet, your arm, whether it is that you feel you may be too thick, too skinned, there's always somebody out there that wishes that they could have your body, that wishes that they could be you. So embrace it. Who cares what social media, trolls may say? Who cares? You don't even know these people. You're concerned and worried about people that you don't even know, talking about your body. All freaking well, you know what I mean? And honestly, I feel also for parents out there, parents, Bobby, mommy, listen. In love, embrace your children. If they have to lose weight, find encouraging words. Find better words to make them feel as if, okay, well, we can find another way for you to lose weight. Don't use the, eres una vaquita, you're a little cow, don't do none of this. Don't do it. Because you don't know how damaging that could be for their self-esteem and all these things moving forward in their life. There's so many different topics. We can talk about this on and on all day, but I really want you guys to take this home with you because this is the truth. Jess, do you have any last words of encouragement or anything, for our closing?
Yes. Oh my goodness. I just want to say to anybody who is listening, you are worthy. You are necessary exactly as you are. You were made this way on purpose. Your scars are your gift. Your trauma is your healing. All of it is perfect. You are needed.
Well, how about this? Where can they follow you on your social media platform if they want to know a little bit more about you?
Absolutely. You can find me all over social media at My Name is Jessamyn, and you can find my yoga studio at The Underbelly Yoga, and you can try a free 2-week trial and practice yoga with me at theunderbelly.com.
Okay, get 'em. Jessamyn, thank you so much for joining us today. I am so honored and grateful to have had you on Exactly Amara, wishing you nothing but the best. And with that being said, keep doing what you do because we need more women like you. Alex, thank you so much as usual for always, being my brains, because I need you to be the voice of reason. Guys, I love you so much. It's your girl, Amara Negra. You already know what time it is. Find me on all the social media platforms at Exactly Amara, or you can also check me out at Amara La Negra ALN, and to our YouTube channel where you will be able to watch us every week by searching Exactly Amara. This has been a production of iHeart's My Cultura podcast network. For more podcasts from iHeart, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.